What's going on, everybody? It's your boy PTK Blam back with another video. Been hitting you guys over the head with so many bangers this week, man. So got another standalone video for you guys today. But before we get into that, man, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, help that algorithm out, man. The channel's been going crazy lately, so thank you guys for the continued support. You guys seem to be really liking these standalone videos, and I have a lot of downtime recently, so I'll be pumping these things out left and right. So if you have any ideas or any videos you'd like to see me do, go ahead, hit me in the DMs, hit me on Twitter. All that information is in the description below, but appreciate you guys. But we are not here for that. I got a very special video lined up for you guys today. And as you guys can see in the thumbnail, we're talking about the top 5 games Xbox needs to bring back. Now, I didn't want to go too far back, so I'm going to give you a couple quick parameters. I only went back to the Xbox One generation. That's as far as I went back. I didn't do 360 nor the OG Xbox, so I didn't want to go that far back. But we're talking fairly current games that I think Xbox needs to really take a second look at, maybe a third look at, and bring back. And we're gonna go through this top 5. So we're gonna start with number 5. And I know what you guys are thinking. Titanfall, we have a Titanfall. They have Titanfall and Titanfall 2. It did get a second game. That is not the point. The point with Titanfall being 5 on my list is because I want another one so bad. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Titanfall, the OG Titanfall came out looks like March 11th, 2014. So it's about a year after the Xbox One came out. It was fully exclusive, and it actually sold extremely well. I think, if my math is correct, it sold upwards about 20 million copies, and it was exclusive at the time. Titanfall 2 came out in 2016. It was multi-plat, didn't do so well. Mind you, Titanfall 2, in my opinion, probably has the greatest story I've ever played, greatest campaign I've ever played in a first-person shooter, bar none. Now, I know some people, you remember, like Halo, Call of Duty. Look, Titanfall 2 has a phenomenal campaign. It left me on the edge of my seat the entire time I was playing it. It was way better than expected, on top of the multiplayer being phenomenal. So this is another game I'd like to see them make. Now, unfortunately, shout out to Vince Zampella. He's doing a lot over there at EA. He's wearing a lot of hats. They pretty much handed over the entire company and said, hey, with all the success you've been having, go ahead and take us to the promised land, Vince. But I doubt we're actually going to get another one, just be it the fact that they have so much on their plate. They are working. They have Apex Legends, which they're still updating. A lot of DLC drops for that. They're also working on a new Star Wars game, on top of Vince Zampella also being the lead of everything Battlefield at EA now. So he has a lot on their plate. I know we've asked over time. Fans have tweeted out certain things about a new Titanfall, and it's essentially fallen upon deaf ears. So that's why this one landed at number 5, because I don't actually think we're going to get a new one, although it absolutely deserves a third game. So Titanfall would be number 5 on my list. So we're going to go down to number 4. And number 4 breaks my heart a little bit. Number 4 is going to be Sunset Overdrive, because this is another game, in my opinion, that did something completely different. It unfortunately got caught up in the fallout that was 2013 for Xbox. The DRM, the TV stuff, it got caught up in all of that, and people were so preoccupied with that stuff, they didn't really recognize that this game was a gem. Now, I will be a bit critical of Xbox fans. We did not go out and support this game like I felt like it should have supported. I bought the game day one, but a lot of people didn't really go out and support this game like they should have. The game came out 10/28/2014, so about a year after the Xbox One came out. Phenomenal game. Graphically beautiful, lots of color. It was unlike anything we had seen on an Xbox at that time. A lot of Jet Set Radio vibes, lots of color, cool characters, real fun. It took itself extremely light. Really unique gameplay, and quiet as kept. If you're a fan of Spider-Man 2018, you should automatically be a fan of Sunset Overdrive, because a lot of the gameplay feels Spider-Man-like, and I think that they almost use Sunset Overdrive as almost like a beta test for Spider-Man 2018, because a lot of the movement in that game is extremely similar, how you get around the city and move around, obviously without the additional powers and the web and things like that. But ultimately, I actually think that we're going to get another one of these. Unfortunately, if you're an Xbox fan, it's going to be a PlayStation exclusive, because Insomniac is now owned by PlayStation. So that's the only rip that I would hold against it, and that's why it ended up actually landed at number 4 for me instead of being higher up on the list. Personally, in my heart, it's probably higher up, but on this particular list, it's at number 4. So we're gonna move on to number 3, and number 3 is another game that just didn't hit for whatever reason, super unique, and that is ReCore. ReCore is a phenomenal game. It's actually created and founded by the creator of Mega Man and Metroid. I believe his name is Keiji Inafune. If I'm saying that right, correct me in chat down in the comment section. But phenomenal, so great pedigree. You know, Mega Man's a phenomenal game. Metroid's phenomenal game. So it has the pedigree. The game came out, didn't quite hit right away, but the lead character Jewel is amazing. The world was amazing. I played through it. Me and my wife played through it quite a bit. There was a bug that didn't allow us to finish the game. I'm sure by now it's patched. The game is 7-8 years old. But the only hold up, the only reason why this wasn't higher on my list is because I do think they might need to take a step back and go back to the drawing board, because there's a lot of pieces of ReCore that I enjoyed. Not necessarily the entire game in totality. It was a great game. Great game. It's a lot more difficult than it looks like. You got a lot of puzzles, a lot of cool powers, and the ability to swap with different bots and the cores is really cool, and I like that. I just would have liked the story to be fleshed out a bit more. The actual environment, as large and as fun as it was to traverse and run around, it was pretty barren and empty. So I'd like to see an upgraded version with more characters, more powers, more robots, maybe a different planet. Maybe Jules moved on to a new planet. But once again, another phenomenal game. It's extremely cheap. If you like platformers, you like challenging games, go pick it up. It's really, really cheap. I think it may be less than $5 at this point on Xbox. So go check it out. ReCore will be my number 3. Definitely want to see that Xbox bring that game back to some capacity. So number 2 is another game that's just amazing, and we're talking Rise. So Rise, coming from the creators at Crytek, phenomenal game once again. And this game is kind of funny because if I was to put this game on a TV and show someone who's never seen it, they would think this was a brand new game. And Rise came out in 2013. It was a launch game for Xbox. And once again, another game that got kind of caught up in the fallout of 2013 and everything that was going around. Shout out to Don Matrix for throwing that L, for giving Xbox that L that year. But it got caught up in the fallout, unfortunately. And a lot of people skipped over. A lot of people didn't really look at it. So extremely fun game, extremely fun characters. Graphically, it's amazing. It's one of those third-person action-adventure games Xbox doesn't really do often, and I think it fits that slot. It fits that slot perfectly. It actually even had multiplayer. There was like a Coliseum arena. You could go fight, and there was multiplayer. You could go play there and fight against other people. It was extremely fun. It had a lot going for it. The story was amazing as well. Great characters. Like I said, it had really everything you would think. If you look at like a Sony third-person action-adventure, Rise would fit the criteria as far as checking boxes down the list. Graphics, you got it. Gameplay, you got it. Compelling characters, you got it. Compelling story, you got it. It had everything there. Unfortunately, it just got caught up in that fallout, and some people looked over it. It didn't really get the love that I thought. Now, Crytek does own the IP. That's my only holdup, and it actually probably would have been one had Xbox actually owned the IP. So the odds of Crytek going back and say, you know what, let's do this again, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Crytek. They got a lot on their plate right now, but hopefully Xbox throws that olive branch out there and says, you know what, let's do this again, because I think Rise absolutely deserves a sequel at this point. So number 1 on the list for me is going to be Killer Instinct. Yes, Killer Instinct. This is a game that Xbox fans have been clamoring for. This is not like the other 4 where you see here and there people asking about it. Killer Instinct, people are always asking about a new Killer Instinct. It absolutely deserves to be updated and get another version, whether it be 2, 3, whatever the next Killer Instinct will be. It absolutely deserves it. This is another game came out. It was a launch game for Xbox One. It actually did extremely well. I remember watching the actual release trailer and it looked amazing. I mean, it has the gameplay, obviously. It's probably one of the smoothest fighters that you could absolutely play. It's iconic characters. Hell, the announcer is iconic. Combo breaker. Come on now, what are we talking about? The gameplay is fast-paced. Another thing that fits this game too, we're having a resurgence for fighters. You see Tekken 8 coming out, Street Fighter 6 coming out. Obviously, NetherRealm was probably working on another game. Shout out to Ed Boon, who said that he would love to work on Killer Instinct, and we've been talking about that forever. I hope that happens. I hope that Phil's even sent the idea to him that, hey, you could really do this if you wanted to. And there's been rumors about Killer Instinct over the years too, regarding if we're going to get another one. Xbox did at one point, I believe it was about 3 years ago, they did say that they were looking for a developer to actually make another one. Now, once again, I don't know how hard it would be to find a developer that wants to work on Killer Instinct. I feel like that's an IP that any developer worth their salt would love to take a crack at and get a chance to make. So Killer Instinct is going to be #1 on the list for me. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section about 1 through 5. Would you shuffle the order? Maybe you guys had a different order. And once again, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the continued support. More videos on the way. Like I said, give me some ideas, drop those in my DMs on Twitter. I love the interaction, man. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one. I am out of here.